Well, it's one thing to get beat, and this isn't to take anything away from Montreal. They played well, obviously, but it's another thing to beat yourself, and that was sort of the story of these last two games. Um, for this recap, we're going to go over, as usual, we'll go over everything that happened in the game, quick summary, and then I've got a lot of things that I want to talk about towards the end. So, quick recap for this one. Adam Gaudette draws out for Zach McEwen. This is something that we need to look at a little deeper. I don't know if it's a healthy scratch. We don't know if Gaudette's hurt. We might hear something on the post game about that. I kind of doubt it though. McEwen played well. We'll go more into that later. Alex Edler's back. Jordy Ben drew in as well, wearing number 8, which looked kind of weird, but I digress. Canucks were wearing the third jerseys tonight. There was a good pace to start this game. Both teams were sort of flying in both directions. There was the Edmondson-Myers fight early in the first period, sort of get that out of the way. Myers lost that fight, but it wasn't too crazy. A couple of penalties early on. Anderson took a penalty for interference. Nothing happened on that. 9:06 to go in the first period. The Canucks gave up a pretty bad one. Tyler Myers gave too much space to Nick Suzuki. Kulak went in wide. Myers kept backing up. The pass came into to Suzuki. He was able to get a quick shot. Myers couldn't get his 12-foot long stick in there. So it's 1-0 Montreal. Also, that's one Holtby should have. It goes right through his arm. A minute later, the Canucks, there's sort of these scrambles in front of the net where people are just piling on top of Carey Price. And the Canucks had two wide open nets. Miller and Mott each had just a wide open shot, and they both missed. Again, they might have got called back for goalie interference, but it's a momentum thing, right? It's like, okay, we can beat them. Late in the first, Sutter takes a penalty, or Sutter gets tripped by Corey Perry, draws a penalty. Pettersson had a drive off the post. Looked like he could have had a slump breaker there. And then Besser takes a slash, pretty weak one to end the power play. Shots after 11-5 Montreal. Second period, Habs start on the power play. Beagle gets another penalty as well. Gets a slashing penalty on Gallagher. That one was iffy, but you know what? They called it. They called it. It's fine. 15:30 on the second period. Tyler Toffoli puts a puck right through the crease. He didn't score tonight. That's crazy. Nick Suzuki takes a delay game penalties. A delay game penalty that sort of killed Montreal's momentum because they were all over the Canucks. 12 minutes to go in the second period. Toffoli basically runs over Holtby. He gets kind of a bump from Quinn Hughes, but like you can't just clean the goalie out. And the refs weren't going to call anything. Horvat goes in, tries to drop the gloves with him, but Toffoli kind of turtles there. Refs end up giving each of them 2 minutes because you weren't going to call it to begin with. Why are you calling it now? I don't know. It's just things like that bother me, but whatever. Levy hit the post. With about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go, Montreal picks up the puck. They play it up. They come the other way. Corey Perry tries to kind of make a bank pass off of Holtby almost, or he didn't get all of it, and it goes 5-hole right through Holtby. Holtby has to save that. Like, you got to keep your stick down or something. Just keep your 5-hole closed. Making it 2-0 Montreal. A minute later, Zach McEwen with a gorgeous... he sort of drives down the right wing, battles his way through, makes a little nifty pass to Jake, and Carey Price sliding to his right. Jake got it in the air for his credit, but Price slides over, gets it sort of in between the blocker and the pad for a good save there. And then 1:34 to go. Pettersson just randomly falls over. Kotkaniemi has a breakaway. Holtby makes a save there. So it's 2-0 Montreal. Shots in that period were 8-7 for Vancouver. It was a pretty even period. It was definitely a decent answer, but you got to capitalize when you can. Third period. Pettersson gets his first of the season off a shot from Quinn Hughes, and he looked noticeably better after that. So that shot, almost a high stick, but Pettersson tipped it 5-hole. And then just 2 minutes later, Niels Höglander ties it up. Just a great shift from that whole line. That Horvat line was really good tonight. Pass from Nate Schmidt into the slot. Höglander, little backhander through two people. Price never saw it. 2-2. A couple minutes later, Lehkonen on the Habs with a pretty obvious hit right to the numbers. I don't know who it was on, but like you could see as they were turning, is clear right in the back, no call. Right after that, Brendan Gallagher scores for the Habs to make it 3-2. Green challenged this one, and it was pretty clearly a bad challenge. Your first look, you look at it and you're like, oh, the puck's in before the guy. And then it's really obvious, like, yeah, but they're not touching the puck. So it's offside, but the whistle wouldn't have gone. Then they're clear, and then they go. You have probably Green, Newell Brown, and Nolan Baumgartner all on the bench, all looking at the monitors. One of them has to see that it's not offside. And they make the challenge anyways. They take a penalty for it for the delay of game. They didn't score on that power play. And then a few minutes later, though, another giveaway goal. JT Miller tries to make a pass as the last man back on the blue line. Instead of just getting the puck deep, he tries to feather it over. It's picked off. They go the other way. Jonathan Drouin scores 4-2. And then Edmondson scores an empty netter with under 3 minutes to go. So Canucks lose 5-2. And again, it's self-inflicted wounds. My thoughts on this game. The first one I want to start with the whole Pettersson thing. Lots of people were like, oh, he's washed up. He's got no confidence or whatever. I know from, like, personally, if you have no confidence, it's hard to get it back. And the issue especially with this is they're not having practices, right? Because they're playing almost every night. So you have no time to go out, work on it, to shoot the puck a lot and sort of build it back up. So glad he got one, looking a little better. Zach McEwen was really good. He obviously came in for Gaudette. Again, we don't know if that's injury or if it was a scratch. I don't think you can take him out next game, though. He was really good. He was laying the body. He was grinding. He made that really good pass to Jake in the second. He was really good. On to the negatives a little bit. Actually, one more positive, Antoine Roussel. I literally said before this game, I'm kind of done with Antoine Roussel. He just hasn't been useful lately. More of a hindrance, really. He was good tonight. I don't know how many blocks he had, probably 3 or 4, and they were all really good blocks. He had a solid game. He was moving out there. On to the negatives. The Canucks are making the extra pass too often. And this isn't about the giveaways. This was mainly in the first and second period where they would have the zone, they would start setting up to make a play, and they would have a decent shooting chance. So let's say there's a guy, you're sort of like in the face-off circle to the right of the net, and you have a lane to shoot. And almost every time, the Canucks are just overthinking it, and they think, well, look, I have a decent scoring chance, but if I get it over there, it's almost guaranteed to go in. But it's like a 5% play that's just, the puck's not going to get there. So they're just giving them away and just losing opportunities. I'm not the kind of guy, I tweeted this out, I'm not the kind of guy that yells shoot. Follow me on Twitter, by the way. I'm not the kind of guy that yells shoot, ever. Because it's so annoying, and they're NHL players that know what they're doing. But man, sometimes you just got to make the simple play, get a shot on net, hope it goes in. Test the goalie. The goalies haven't been good anywhere in the NHL this year. Shoot the puck. Passes just aren't connecting. There's a lot of them, again, this comes kind of down to making the extra pass, but there's a lot of times where simple breakout passes, just regular passing around the ice, it's bouncing off of sticks. It's hopping over sticks. They're just missing them. They're icing it. There's something going on where everyone's either just gripping their stick too tight or they're being too casual or they're frustrated. I don't know what it is. They're NHL players. You should be able to receive a pass, and it's just happening too much where it just hits their stick and careens off somewhere. The goalies need to stop handling the puck. This has happened every game. Either Holtby or Demko has gone out to play the puck a few times. And I'd say probably on average, each of them play the puck like 3 or 4 times a game. And every time there's one that almost goes bad. And that happened to Holtby again tonight, where he went out to play the puck, kind of fanned on it. Montreal ends up getting a chance off of it, and luckily they aren't able to get a shot on the open net. But this happens every game. The goalies need to just make the simple play, go out and stop it for your defenseman, or ring it up the wall and get it out of the zone. Stop giving it up when it's a wide open net. Keep shooting selves in foot. This keeps happening. This is what I mentioned off the bat when I said it's one thing to get beat by a good team. And the Habs were a good team tonight, and on Thursday for that matter. But man, you really made it easy for them to win. Just so many plays where you're literally just giving away free grade A opportunities. These passes as the last man back that aren't working, that are giving up breakaways. That's what we saw on the, whatever goal that was. Was that Armia? Drouin. Armia's out. I'm done. Drouin's goal. We saw that exact thing. We saw it on Thursday night, and we saw it on Wednesday night, and they just need to stop shooting yourselves in the foot. Get the puck deep. Make them earn their goals. Don't just give them up. This is their 4th straight game, all 3 against Montreal and the last one against Calgary. This is their 5th straight game that they have allowed 5 goals. They have allowed 5 goals in each of their last 4 games. They're averaging, I think I heard before the game that they're over 4 goals against average. It's probably closer to 5 now. You can't win games letting in 5 goals. I mean, they did 1, and it was 6-5 in a shootout, right? So, anyway, those are my thoughts. What's coming up next? The Canucks play Monday, against Ottawa, 7 p.m. We've got a couple options here. Before the Montreal series, I did a series preview, and that was me just basically saying, all right, Canucks are playing the Habs. This is what the Habs have done so far this year. I could do the same thing for Ottawa, and I kind of want to do that. I also want to... There's a lot of Benning hate on Twitter right now, and I want to do a video where I sort of go through and break down his tenure, and it's been done in articles in the past, but I'd like to sort of go in, look at every move he's made, and sort of come to my own conclusion instead of jumping on sort of the hype train of fire Benning. Like, yeah, he hasn't done great, but I want to go in, analyze it for myself. So maybe I'll push that video to Tuesday, and we'll do the preview tomorrow. We'll see. If you enjoyed this video, even if you didn't like the game, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hopefully... And the Canucks are 2-5. They need to win 2 of the games against Ottawa, hopefully 3. If they win 1 game against Ottawa and go to 3-7, some heads might roll. I don't think it'll be Travis Green, but I could see Jim's job being on the line. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of want to make that video tomorrow instead of Tuesday, because what if he doesn't make it to Tuesday? Anyways, those are my thoughts. I've kind of rambled on here a little bit, but I'm frustrated. I'm going to go watch Conor McGregor fight Dustin Poirier, which is going to be sick. I am rooting for Conor. Let me know who you are or were rooting for in the comments, and I will see you on tomorrow, Sunday.